In this lesson, I will talk about the negotiation and discuss 5 negotiation styles that we use in our daily life conflicts. These are competing, avoiding, collaborating, accommodating, and compromising styles. People often ask which is the best, which is the worst negotiation style, but there is not best or worst, right or wrong style. However, at the end of this lesson, you might find out your own style that are close to your conflict resolution skills. We should remember that negotiation is a principal tool used in conflict management resolution. Negotiation might be used to prevent violence before it has escalated, to stop violence once it has begun, and to prevent its recurrence and create conditions for a lasting peace in the aftermath of the violence. We shouldn't forget that negotiation is a sequence of events. It is probably more useful to think about conflict as a process or a complex series of events. A negotiation basically includes a number of steps, including exchange of proposal and counter-proposal. First, style is competing, which means I win, you lose. Competitive style negotiators follow their own needs, yes, even when this leads others suffer. They usually don't want to suffer and lose. They just want to focus on their shorter-term gains. In this regard, such kind of negotiators often use whatever tactics and power they have in their own hands. At these extreme negotiators call their behavior aggressive. The second style is accommodating, which is the opposite of competing style. In other words, it is a I lose, you win. The relationship is very important or is everything for accommodating style negotiators. Accommodating profiles assume that the way to winning people over is to give them what they want. Accommodators are usually very well appreciated by their colleagues and opposite party negotiators. Third style is avoiding style, which means I lose, you lose. This is the most often referred to as a passive-aggressive. People who usually use this style really dislike conflict according to their own habits. Rather than talking directly with you about the issues, avoiding styles may instead try to take revenge without you know about it. The avoid style can be a typical reaction to high competing negotiators. Fourth style is compromising, which means I lose, win some, as well as you lose and win some. Compromising is the style that most people think of as negotiation, but in reality, compromising is usually just haggling. Satisfying both your needs and others are moderately important. Compromising often involves splitting the difference, usually resulting in an end opposition of about halfway between both parties' opening positions. The fifth style is collaborating, which means I win, you win as well. Most people confuse win-win or the collaboration style with the compromising style. This is the most definitely the case. Win-win is about making sure both parties have their needs met and as much mutual values as can be created. Win-win negotiators usually evolve through the other profiles. They grow into collaborative negotiation style. Most successful negotiators start off assuming collaborative, in other words, integrative or win-win negotiations. All negotiations involve 2 levels, a rational decision-making, which is substantive process, and the psychological, which is emotional process. Understanding the rational part of the negotiation is relatively easy. However, understanding the psychological part is more difficult. We need to understand ourselves and our opponents psychologically. All bargaining situations in negotiations can be divided into 2 categories. In distributive kind of bargaining, one side wins and one side loses. In this situation, there are fixed resources to be divided so that the more one gets, the less the other gets. In this situation, one person's interests oppose the others. This is also called competitive zero-sum, win-lose or claiming value category. In integrative kind of bargaining, there is a variable amount of resources to be divided and both sides can win. The dominant concern here is to maximize joint outcomes. This is also called collaborative, win-win or creating value categories. Thank you very much for watching us.